A disassembly tool for the SKS. William Hovey Smith, 2023. The SKS, like most semi-automatic rifles, has a gas system which needs to be cleaned. And one annoying aspect of the SKS is that you have to move a plunger, this little tool here, which is underneath the sight base. The operating rod from the gas system impacts against the plunger like this, then pushes it into the bolt, and that unlocks the bolt and allows the bolt to go rearward and reload. Well, this part needs to be cleaned from time to time. And also the much longer operating rod and the piston on the end. Well, it is very difficult to remove because it's under the pressure of a heavy spring. Now in old SKSs, that spring can weaken, and yeah, it's no great problem. And there's enough wear on the part that goes up and down like this, that I'll show you later, that yeah, it's reasonably easy. But in this new one with strong spring, I need another tool. So consequently, I'm making one. And here it is. Now this is a nail that I heated and bent and thinned so that it will fit between the barrel and the plunger here and push it forward and release it. And what happens with this part, it pushes here, pushes this forward enough so that the gas cylinder can actually come down like this and be locked against it. Except there's so much spring pressure that this slips off very easily. And you have to fiddle a lot with it to get the right point and the right pressure and have it stay on while you apply pressure here, while simultaneously pushing down from above. Poof, fish, boing! And everything flies all over, and you try it again and again and again, and finally, ultimately, through more luck than skill, you'll get it done. So consequently, we're building our little tool. Now we've already bent it, and okay, that's okay. And we need to make another modification, and that is put a handle on it. And that's what we're about to do now. We're also going to drill a hole here so that our mystic part here will have a firm surface to bite against and won't tend to slip off like it does right now. The wood comes from a cut-off piece of a walking cane that I made in a previous video. We're getting through our first step here quick enough. Woof! We've selected a drill bit that's approximately the same diameter as the nail. And we want to leave some space, about an inch, so that works out well. The nail was fairly well rusted, so I went ahead and took off the worst of the rust and left the pits. And this will actually make the glue bond stronger when I bond it back into the wooden handle. So that will work. My drill press doesn't have enough throw to accommodate this length of handle, so I'm going to have to drill it with a hand drill and take a chance with the hole being off center somewhat or wandering. Okay, that's done. Now, how does our part fit? Okay, a little bit loosely. But centered. We're going to take our super glue here and mix up a paste and then use this to take up the excess space. Okay, and we just allow this to set overnight, and that should be good. We've got our operating rod in the drill press and centered up, and what we're looking for here is not to drill a very deep hole, something maybe even less than a millimeter, but just enough to give our tool some purchase so it doesn't slip off that slick face. I'm going to have to get a piece of carbide to cut that. I do have a carbide bit, so we'll see if that does better. I am starting to get some small penetration. It's very slow. Although slow going, with the carbide bit, I finally did get the little indentation that I wanted. So, yeah, this will be enough to actually hold the point of the tube.
We're going to go hunting and shooting, but buy some of my books for Christmas. What I've got are outdoor and business books. Create your own job security. Make your own job anytime, anywhere, at any age, which means exactly what it says. Real Wealth, How to Obtain and Keep It, which is an explanation for young people on what the value of money and things really is. Then my novels, Until Death Do You Part, An American Family Meets Their Sicilian Cousins, and more recently, The Goldfarb Chronicles, a trilogy.
It's mid-December now, and we're in straight pull mode so far as the gun is concerned. And I'm in my big food plot, which you have seen before, but this time I'm hunting from the ground and over at one edge. We have rainstorms coming in about noon or so, and I'm hoping the critters will move a little bit, or that actually the second rut has started. And either way, we're going to sit here until we're rained out. The wind is coming up, and I fear our storm is approaching. It's now about 1:30. And we did do some good things here. I did clear out my shooting paths a little bit, my shooting lanes. So that'll give me a better shot when I do get a deer by. And I still have some more work to do in this direction. The idea is to not cut out every piece of vegetation, but to cut you out enough clear areas that you can get a good shot. Here is our little nest that I've been shooting out of, or hunting out of, I should say, and the SKS, as well as a cushion. Now I'm sitting on a concrete block, which you can see a corner of propped up against a tree. And that cushion enables me to stay much longer than I would otherwise. There has been shooting this morning, more than I've heard for weeks. So it seems very likely that the bucks are indeed in second rut. So the idea to coming out here was good. It sounded like about 3 deer were killed around me. And I heard one antler clink behind me, but never did see a deer. Through repositioning the rifle on the ground and using this tool, now that I put a point on it, to push the plunger well back into underneath the sight base, I was able to bring this down and push the operating rod back in and lower this to now where we can lock it in and secure it by pushing this back into place. So now we have the gun back into a fully operational semi-automatic state. And this little tool has been a definite aid for me. I'd be surprised if there weren't variations of this actually produced all over the world in communist bloc countries. I'm now out with my fully semi-automatic SKS, and I'm overlooking my favorite swamp. This flat area below is a climb out area, and you see the braided channel of Kittrell Creek interspersed between all the timber here. And this is a favorite climb out spot for game. It's too windy to sit up top, so I'm just going to stay down here in the bottom and see if there's anything moving. Well, everything seems to be laying low. Some buzzards are flying, but not a squirrel. Saw one drake wood duck way up there. Glimpsed him as he was moving around. But I think I'm going to go back home and actually put this on the bench and shoot it a little bit. Make sure my modification actually works. Before I take that gun out hunting again, I'm going to function test it. And this is some China sports ammunition. And it was imported by the same company, Norinco, and made specifically for this gun. So one should suppose that it would shoot fairly well. But it's now some decades old, so we shall see. I've loaded 5 rounds, and I've also taken my glasses off because I can actually see these sights better without the glasses than with them. Okay, safety is off. Okay, 5 shots away, 5 shots fired, perfect function. Yep, that looks good. Well, we have certainly demonstrated that the SKS here will work, as we have modified it to make it easier to reassemble. So now we have to go out and kill a deer with it. Well, we're going to be about that for the rest of the season. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.